markets can vary within them. Okay, looking forward to disagreement on that. Noble profession, my last point. You know, we're in the happy business. That's what I used to say when I was director of recruiting. People said, do you want to help us with layoffs? I'm like, no, I'm in the happy business. I'm not in the layoff business. I'm a happy person. You know, what do? Recruiters help connect people with their passions, they help people with their purpose. And the vendors in the room give them the tools to do that. That is noble. You're helping people create friendships that can last a lifetime. You're helping people find meaning. You do. Think about it. You spend more time at work than with your spouse, with your kids. I'm not saying that's good or bad, I'm just saying it's true. And each of us, in one way or another, helps people find that opportunity to feel like they get more meaning and purpose in their lives. And I feel like we don't share that enough with each other. We don't recognize the importance of our work and value each other enough for that important work. So first let me say thank you, thank you, thank you, and let me ask that you thank your friends that are also in noble work. It's important to remember the bigger picture and not just the hiring manager that's annoying you today. Global trends, talked about some of the data we've seen, some competencies. This is not a complicated model. It takes about 15 seconds to explain.
Yeah, and I don't mean to say that it wasn't accurate. I think that you raised yet another level of that. In other words, I'm speaking kind of in favor of it. And what's interesting is that we do it on the talent, side of the house in HR, right? I mean, we run largely to a similar set of competencies. I guess as we do assessments, annual performance assessments. So I guess I'd throw the question open, which you did, because I did, it's your presentation. You asked everybody, right? What's the possibility coming of not only describing global gateways, but then describing globally agreed upon competency and skills requirements, even though the cultural fit ultimately might need to be decided upon?
So I'll answer that, and I'd love for others to get engaged maybe at during. So when I was a parametric, we had we used Lominger, which is a commonly used competency model, and we had competencies, universal global competencies by major job family, like the big ones, like sales and service and technology ones. And so I think this thing can get really, really baked. And my advice would be start simple and get it more robust. But it's an amazing thing to see recruiters from around the world, and you ask 5 of them in 5 countries, what's your recruiting process, and to get the same answer from 5 different people in 5 parts of the world, and getting people to really engage. It's an incredible thing. Inward-facing metrics, we're not often focused on what the business is interested in, and that, I think, creates a credibility gap. So what we're doing is we're wasting a lot of time, measuring a bunch of stuff that no one but us cares about. So I really encourage you to get that straight. It's probably a small list, and you might find that cost is really not as big of a deal as you think it might be, because a lot of executives understand that talent costs money. And I think that's one that people, if they push on, can get some movement on.
I think we heard one of those metrics that a lot of us forget about, that empty chair cost.